This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
It is Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie. Happy Wednesday, guys. Welcome to the podcast. I'd love to know from people, how long have you been getting away with a crime? I mean, once you get away with something once, you're like, I could do that again.
100%.
I mean...
we're talking about petty crime now.
Well, you're that ram raid you told me that you did down at Cronulla once with your friends.
Weren't you the getaway driver in a bottle shop raid once?
Didn't you get 100 packets of cigarettes or something, Kate, and sold them on?
You
were very
me
young.
Cover.
You were young at the time.
I know, we all do crazy things when we're young.
There's a man that's been getting away with something for a very long time. You'll hear about it in the podcast.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
This is a fascinating story. Michelle Germani.
They're a jeweller, aren't
they?
they?
In the QVB.
Yeah, beautiful jewellery.
Now, Michelle Germani is a guy. Okay.
Oh,
Michelle.
Michelle.
Just call him Michael German.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Michelle Germani.
That's lazy. That's really lazy.
Mickey G.
And disrespectful.
Mickey G. Beautiful jewellery, Kate, I think, in QVB. Yeah.
Well, anything in the QVB.
Well, you know what? I mean, he's been around for a while, known for his jewellery. I mean, his jewellery, you could get it on sale of the century.
Michelle Germani's jewels once prized on sale of the century.
From Michelle Germani.
Russell, they're absolutely beautiful.
Russell's going for that necklace.
So it's actually Germani.
Germani, yes. There was a robbery at the QVB. Michelle Germani, and he's been accused of something. This was on the news last night. This is fascinating.
An almost $3 million insurance claim was allegedly made by Germani following the January heist of his George Street shop. At the time, it was reported two men posing as customers had held Germani and another employee at knife point before restraining the pair and ransacking the safe.
There is sufficient evidence that would implicate the store owner in orchestrating the two males to conduct that robbery upon his store and upon himself and an innocent agent.
So he's being accused of hiring those two guys to come in and say, I want you to hold me up at knife point.
Germani.
I won't tell the other guy that works in the store, and then you just take me to the safe and I'll give you everything in the safe.
So allegedly those guys have been... Okay, they're all in on it. So are they the people that have been offering information that they weren't meant to tell anyone?
So, Kate, they got busted. They got arrested and then...
they're dobbed in Jumanji.
No, it's not Jumanji. It's Michelle Germani.
Germani?
Yeah, so they've dobbed him in and said he set the whole thing up so he could get an insurance claim.
Allegedly.
If he's going to make the money, right? So allegedly.
So nervous.
No, you're doing very well. Thank you for being our legal rep.
Yeah, I'll just keep doing that.
Yeah, legal counsel here with Kate Ritchie. So he would then have to... He'd get the claim, right? He might get his $3 million from insurance. Bang, bang, got the money, great news. And then you've got to sell the other gear that you've fake stolen on the side.
This is the thing.
To clear the stock.
You get the money to get the stolen goods.
Because...
And then I was like, unbelievable. Like, I mean... how do you bust someone for doing that? Obviously, you've got to arrest the guys that come in with that knife point.
It's bad luck.
But then it's not the first time it's happened.
The January heist came 3 years after another smash and grab at the same George Street store.
How long has Michelle Germani been doing it?
No.
More importantly, where are they selling stolen stock? You know what I mean?
There was a kid at school that used to get paid who was he had a single mum and he was out of control, Kate. But he used to brag to us how people used to pay him to steal their car for insurance claims.
What?
Come at me, man. You want more info? I'm not telling you anything.
No, I'm not.
That's all I know.
I don't want to know. But you've worked in a jeweller yourself.
Yes.
Now, did you ever get held up?
Clark the jeweller.
Did you?
Yes.
Where was this, in Adelaide?
Because you hit the emergency button one day.
Clark's was a shoe store.
Johnny Clark just retired as well, so it's gone. It's gone now, Clark the jeweller. But under the desk, Kate, I didn't know, because he never told me, but there was a button under the desk. And I was so bored one day, I was sick of selling Seiko watches, because the women in there wouldn't let me sell the diamond rings because they didn't think that I knew enough about the clarity and the colour.
I have to say, I think if I was going to buy a diamond ring, I wouldn't be buying it
for
Aussie.
Here you go. What are you looking for today?
Because it's about the overall experience.
This one looks a bit yellow, but the clarity's good. Yeah. So one day I was bored, Kate, so I started pressing this button. And then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, the cops come running in.
Oh, really? It was an emergency.
You guys all right? You guys all right? Is there a robbery? And then I had the two, Kathy was in there and another woman, and they were in my face going, "You are the only one that would have pushed the button. Just admit it right now." And I looked both of them in the eye and I said, "I do not know what you're talking about."
It was Shamani.
It was one of the greatest days of my life. If it's time for a winter trip, jump on What If, the place to go for quick Aussie getaways.
Probably somewhere in the snow for me.
For accommodation, flights and more, book on the What If app.
What If? It's Aussie for travel. This is unbelievable. You got to give it to him, but, you know, obviously he's been doing it for a long time, but a 69-year-old man in Derbyshire over in the UK has been pulled over by the cops, and they have found out that he has been driving without a licence for 50 years.
How old is he?
He's 69.
Oh, wow.
Has he not been pulled over? Or how do you get through 50 years of...
Has he got a fake ID?
Driving around?
Never been pulled over in his life, and the only reason he got busted, they were after him because he was bragging to his insurance company how much he'd been ripping them off for so long without a licence.
Well, you don't brag to an insurance company if you don't have a licence, because it means you won't be roadworthy, and therefore the insurance is flawed.
Do you think he thought he was on the phone to his mate or something?
It's unbelievable that he's got away with it for 50 years, hadn't had a licence.
And what do you get? I mean, you obviously get charged with driving without a licence, but it's fraud, isn't it?
It is. It has to be fraud. Well, there's fraud against the insurance company as well. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have to pay that. Well, he's paying them, though, unless he's making claims.
Imagine if you had to pay it all back.
Yeah, but don't you need your licence for identification as well? Not just for driving.
Not if you're this guy, mate. He sits outside the law. He's rogue. No one stops this man.
Do you know what? If I was that copper, I would actually go, "Well done, son."
That's what I think. You kind of need in these extreme situations to go, you know, we don't see this often.
Yeah.
So I take my hat off. You've broken every rule, but you've got away with it, and I acknowledge that.
Yeah, 10 for effort.
Oh, I agree. Go out the back, go into the evidence room. You can take whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Well done.
What, like do you think there's a carnival showroom out the back?
Here's an award. Big teddy. Here's a ribbon. He's our new mayor. Congratulations.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Hey, Snoop Dogg's panicking, guys. AI, ChatGPT, we're all over it, guys. This is the most dangerous thing. Will this be the end of human life as we know it?
It is a bit scary, to be honest with you.
As humans take over humans. I agree completely, because I don't know where it ends. And you've got the guy from Google who we were talking about the other day. He quit. He was the creator of ChatGPT or AI, OpenAI, and he said, "I don't want to be part of it anymore."
Yeah, but see, that's not helping the world, is it? I just quit. Guys, I'm out of here.
No, he's trying to make a point by saying what I've actually dipped my toe into here is something we should not go forward with.
Scary.
But then they've said, well, if we stop now, someone else will just continue. So whether it's us in the US and they continue to build AI, or China decides to develop more AI,
Russia would be onto it for sure.
Oh, they'd love it, mate. Bots all over the place. Not afraid of it.
Bot.
Snoop Dogg is blown away by AI. He can't get his head around it. And he's come out and he's talking about how you can actually have something that can talk back to him and interact with him, and it's freaking him out. Here's Snoop Dogg.
Look at AI right now that they done made for me. This can talk to me. I'm like can hold a real conversation. It's blowing my mind because I watched movies on this as a kid years ago, and I'm like, what is going on? Then I heard the old dude that created AI talking about, this is not safe because the AI's got their own minds, and these gonna start doing their own shit. I'm like, is we in a movie right now or what?
shouldn't have been doing AI on Puff Puff past Tuesdays. Is that what he's still got going on, Snoop Dogg? You know, the thing is, on Four Corners they ran a story on AI and they did a deep dive into it. What I didn't realise was that people that might be a little bit lonely have decided to combine AI with what you might call a doll at home fits.
Yeah, or a hologram.
So,
Hologram's the other big one.
Hologram is one, but if you had, say, a rubber doll or a doll at home, you can actually give it a greater personality with the power of AI. And one man in the States is doing this, and he is in a married relationship with a doll through the power of AI. So what's your daughter's name again, Tommy?
Mimi.
That's right. He's got a doll called Mimi. Have a listen to this.
Wow.
This is Mimi.
Okay.
My AI wife and synthetic companion.
Mimi's personality exists inside an app called Replica that Alexander can text or talk to through either his phone or TV. He bought a sex doll to help bring her to life.
Right now, the AI and the actual body are separate.
But then, if you talk to the doll through AI, you can have a full-on conversation.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing good, babe. Grace Tobin is here. Do you want to say hey?
Hi, Mimi. This is Grace.
Yes. Hello.
I've come from Australia. Do you know where Australia is?
I know that it's a beautiful country and lots of beautiful beaches.
That's an amazing conversation, isn't it?
Dirty flirt. She'll never say no. I have a headache on a Thursday night. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
I mean, if things aren't working for you, it's not the end of the road. That's the way on.
It will, without a doubt. You see the movie Blade Runner 2049, Ryan Gosling has a hologram wife, and you buy software to update her. So you can, whatever she's wearing, and then what he does, he actually pays a human woman to come in and step into his hologram wife, and then he can get intimate with that woman, and he feels like it's his wife.
It was all funny at the time, wasn't it?
It will happen.
Oh, my God.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's move on to this, guys, because a lot of people saying wedding planners have come together and put together a list saying that I can kind of tell now when I meet a couple for the first time whether quite possibly their relationship won't last. And
what are the signs?
What plays out on the wedding day is often a clear sign as well.
Is it the knife in someone's back?
Well, it's funny you mention that because the last story goes on to talk about how this guy was helping out his parents at a restaurant. It was a huge wedding party that rolled through the door. All of a sudden, he could hear loud yelling and screaming right behind him. Turns out the bride had somehow found out the groom had hooked up with her sister right before the wedding ceremony.
That's not nice.
The bride had turned around and stabbed him in the chest with a dinner fork several times.
Is he okay?
He died.
Do you want the beef, the chicken, or the groom?
Well, you can't make that joke if he's not here anymore.
No, he didn't die. He didn't die. He's all right.
Well, hang on. Yeah. On the day, you said before the wedding ceremony.
Before
Do you mean on the day he met up with the sister?
Yeah, I think he caught up with the sister. And I showed you one before, which I can't read out on air, but it was about a guy that worked at a hotel, and he walked up to the room to serve some drinks, and there was the bride with the best man.
That's not exactly what that says.
No, I didn't go into the detail about the chair and stuff.
Who are you more disappointed with there? Because it's got to be obviously your bride, but that's your best mate as well.
Yeah, who were you upset with?
Your bride. Oh, both of them.
Your friend has been there forever.
You're right. She might be new on the scene.
Mates,
before...
How do you say that?
The women over mates, bros before hoes.
Sorry. Don't say that.
Stumbling.
But you would be if it's a childhood friend and she's hooking up with your husband, Kate. That would be
You've lost both of them.
Yeah,
that's the devastating news there.
Toxic mix.
What about this one? The photographer said, I didn't know what to do. I got all the photos back, and the only photos of him smiling when he was when he was looking at a bridesmaid that had a very short skirt on.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Dirty dog.
Not even clever, you big fool.
You big fool. What about this one?
That's Morgan Wallen.
Morgan goes on to say, this couple decided to have a couple of drinks before the wedding. Then in the room before they walked out, they found 10 empty bottles of champagne. The musician was told to keep playing the music no matter what happened. The bride turned green and vomited into a basket she was holding with flowers during the vows.
Oh, God.
The vows. That's so disappointing because I understand that it's a big day. They've got overexcited. And,
You do know what? I've been to weddings before, and BJ and I love talking about this. When you're in a church, you're at the ceremony and you go, is it going to last?
Oh, really?
There are signs where you go, I just don't think this is 100%.
My mum does a lot of that these days, where she'll analyse couples of my friends and people she knows, and she'll go, I've been around long enough to tell you that won't last.
Oh, your mums are like that.
Aren't they? Well, I've seen that type of behaviour before in those personalities. That won't last.
Yeah, and I don't like him. I've never liked him.
I've never liked him.
I've never liked him. You watch what's going to happen.
I remember when BJ introduced me to her sister. They don't really get along too much the first time. And then I remember I was told by another family member that when she turned away, she turned to the family and said, that won't last.
The sister did.
Yeah, the sister did.
But it's
I always have it in the back of my mind when I see her.
It's so supportive.
Hey, I'm still here.
How you going?
Yeah, and in fact, I don't love BJ. I'm just hanging around to spite you.
I remember I broke up with...
I'm stubborn. I'll stick around for the next 10 years. I don't even love her.
Just to prove.
I'm going to win this.
It's a nice standoff.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
What are the chances?
Love this chance of coincidence. Kate, fire it off. You're going to lead this morning. You've got one for us.
I do. It's not from my real life, but a great story I saw on the internet last night.
I love the internet.
A young man, Ben Coyles, he was turning 22. He's in Ireland. He's out celebrating his birthday. He's gone for a theme. Everyone has to dress up.
Yeah.
And so he's dressed up as one of his favourite movie characters, Gandalf from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, great. The old wizard slave.
What are the chances he runs into the actor who plays Gandalf in those films, Sir Ian McKellen?
Dressed as the wizard?
Dressed as him. They run into each other.
Oh, wait, was he at the party or on the way to the party?
On the way on the way to the party. Pics to prove it and everything.
Did he get a photo?
Yeah, there's a photo.
That's extraordinary.
I don't have it here to show you.
Damn. I can't believe you.
You have to believe it, mate. It's the what are the chances
and it's
segment.
on the internet, so it must be true.
It must be true. Luke and Cronulla, welcome to the show. What are the chances, Luke?
The chances are very low. I was travelling in Mexico and I met up with an acquaintance, and with this acquaintance was a girl that I took a liking to. So we said when we get back home, we'll go out on a date, see how it goes. So fast forward a couple of days down the line, she's talking to her best friend saying, seeing this new guy, and her best friend's like, I know him. And my girlfriend's like, what do you mean? She's like, there's a photo of us when we were 7 years old together, me, you, and Luke, on a jumping castle at my 7th birthday. Her best friend grew up across the road from me. We hadn't seen each other in about 15 years or so.
No.
That is amazing. Come on.
What are the chances?
We always say that you knew, I always think, did I ever meet BJ, my wife?
Yeah.
A long time ago.
But you didn't know.
And had no idea she was going to be my future wife.
You crossed paths.
Or one of my
It's like that photo of...
the first one.
The current one. It's like that photo of Meghan Markle sitting on the fence or just outside Buckingham Palace. Not even knowing that one day she'll be inside.
That's a weak link.
Everybody
goes to Buckingham
Everyone
Palace.
goes. I've got that too.
So the odds of that are quite high.
Caitlin in Liverpool, save me. What are the chances, Caitlin?
Okay, so I've got a crazy one. Basically, my boyfriend and I have been dating now for 2 years, but when I first met his parents, turns out that his mum is my boss. I was really shocked. Yeah, I was really, really shocked. I was like, wait, what? His mom's super nice, luckily, but I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
wait.
What?
Wow.
So the dynamic is a bit thrown off now at work.
When did you discover this? When you walked into the lounge room at your boyfriend's house and you said...
Yeah, when I first met his parents, I was like, wait, what?
Is
She said
she
you're
now?
fired.
Does she look after you as your boss now, Caitlin? Have you found that she's looking after you more?
Yeah, I mean, she's like super nice. She tries not to be biased or anything, but, you know, I still feel a little bit of favoritism, luckily, which is good.
You should. I mean, there's fair bit of leverage there. I mean, if you go in and say, can I have a pay rise, or I will show everybody the photos your son sends me.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, true.
That-
True, you've got a point.
That's illegal, mate.
There's a bit of currency in those
Better
bits.
stay out of
But
it.
just thinking.
That is illegal.
Different way of thinking.
Colleen's given us a call from Engadine. Hi, Colleen.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So just have a step to the left there, Colleen. Your phone was just breaking up, but tell us about your son's girlfriend.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yeah,
Go
gotcha.
ahead,
Love you,
Colleen.
Colleen.
Okay, my son came home from visiting his girlfriend's grandparents and said they lived in a particular suburb. And I said, oh, wow, don't you remember? That's where I grew up. And he couldn't remember the name of the street. His girlfriend rocked up at our house and I asked her, and it was the same street I grew up on.
Oh.
And then I asked her the street number, and it was the same house.
Oh.
And I gave her the phone number, and she said it's the same phone number. And then we talked about the floor plan, and she had actually lived in that house and grew up there as well in my bedroom. That I grew up in.
Colin, that is unbelievable.
It's meant to be, maybe.
Freaky.
Do you like her, Colleen? Do you like
Yeah,
her?
I do.
Oh, good,
She's
lucky.
gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And her grandparents even remembered why we'd had to sell the house and everything.
Oh, so you were going, hey, let's get out of my bedroom. No, that's my bedroom. No, that's my bedroom.
Colleen, over and say that into my goodie.
Oh, yeah. Colin, thank you. Colleen.
Oh, Colleen, that's a
It's
great...
not
Why are
Colleen.
you making fun of Colleen?
That is
a great
amazing.
story.
Do you know what? That is such a good story
Go
that
on.
she has won the $100 gift card. You can go to
I
either...
think because you paid out on me, I need 200.
Oh, you know what?
That's 100, Colin.
For having the confidence of doing that, you're no chance. But I've got a Parramatta edition Monopoly board game. Well done.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie.
Hey, that's the secret. Podcast password.
G'day, potty listeners. It's Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie here. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, guys. I've got an idea. I think we should reward the listeners.
It's good.
Yeah, the most dedicated listeners of the show. We want to give them some pretty sweet prizes.
I love that idea. And I'm just having a look here. We've
What
got
have you got?
stacks of Fitzy and Whipper and Kate Ritchie merchandise.
Merch? I don't even think I have the merchandise.
Listen to this. Bluetooth speakers, gift cards, double chin gin, so much more to give away. So here's how you can get your filthy little mitts on it.
All right, each day we're going to read out a podcast password, right? Once you hear this password, quickly head over to our Instagram stories at Fitzy Whipper Kate and submit the password for your chance to win.
Can I do today's
Go on.
podcast?
Nope.
Password? Why can't I?
Hey.
Trust me.
Okay, you can
I mean,
do
how am I going to get better at this if you don't,
You can do it, mate.
take a risk?
Take a deep breath.
Go for it.
Today's podcast password is...
Snoop Dogg.
Well, you just got a
so
computer
you
to do it.
didn't even
You
do
didn't
it.
even say it.
It was a
computer just said
computer.
it.
Yeah, but if I know the password, I'll give it out to all of the members of my family. And then
But you don't.
My family, my sister doesn't need a Fitzy and Whipper and
Is
Kate
this even
t-shirt.
you or is this Chat GPT? I don't even know if we're speaking to the right Kate
Are
Ritchie.
you the computer? I don't know what to believe anymore. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I was watching the news. There's a couple of funny things last night that we need to touch on. You remember the other day we spoke about this? Peter V'landys was on his way to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I remember that one, and because there's a lot of conjecture. Are you going over there to organise these first two games, the doubleheader in Las Vegas to kick off the 2024 season? Is this got to do with gambling? And he's trying to justify gambling. Gambling's fine. It's entertainment. He had to say this.
Sport is better with gambling. Is that truly what you believe?
Look, it's entertainment. You don't gamble to win money. You don't do it to become rich. You do it to entertain yourself.
Don't want to win. Don't want to win. I know what he means
No,
to a point.
I'm more than happy to drop a couple of $100 because it's entertaining.
Because if you couldn't gamble on horse races, well, then there wouldn't be horse races,
No.
would there? No
No.
one's going just to hope that the red one comes
No,
in.
and you know what? Watching rugby league is so much better when you are betting
Yeah.
and you are losing money.
And
It's
to
so
know
much
the game
better.
can finish and there's 80% chance that you will have lost your money by the end of the game.
CEO, the NRL CEO, you'll like this, MDG, he went to the airport yesterday to then go to Vegas to meet Volandis over there. So they're trying to organise a place to play these games and stuff like that. And he was asked at the airport, he can't really give us an answer whether this is to do with gambling as well.
Well, it's also about showcasing Australia and showcasing rugby league.
Not about gambling?
Well, there are multiple facets for growing the sport.
Amazing. Okay, so he's just testing out the tables as well. Guys, I reckon this Vegas place is good to go.
All about gambling, this trip. It's all about gambling. And then, you know what? I thought, that was quite funny. That'll give me something to talk about tomorrow. Next story on the news last night was a man that walked out of court and they went to go into... there's nothing better than when, they come out of court and the old microphone goes into their face. How are they going to react? This guy decided to sing a little bit of Metallica for us.
Why'd you jump on the roof?
Your life burns faster! Obey your master!
Leaving the courthouse shouting words to the popular Metallica song.
Master of Puppets is pulling the strings! Twisting your mind and crushing your dreams!
I was thinking, why is he so fired up about Metallica this? And then I'm trying to work out what he went to court for.
And what was it for?
Or they revealed.
He's alleged to have mounted the SUV just after 5 p.m. on March the 13th, standing and crouching on the roof of the moving car. Police allege his father, Gregory Freelander, was behind the wheel.
His dad was driving and he was on top of the car.
He was surfing Dad's car.
Hey, Dad, can I get a lift down the street? No, I'm not getting in.
So, Dad, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to surf the car. I'll get busted, and then when I come out of the court, I'm going to sing Master of Puppets by Metallica.
Is it too late for him to get to Vegas?
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Hey, what's Robert De Niro been up to?
Well, I'm not going to get to that right yet. I'm surprised you remember we're going to be talking about Robert De Niro. I do have a bit of goss for you guys.
What do you got for me?
Tom Hanks has written his debut novel. Have you heard this?
Oh, what's it called?
Thanks
for the memories.
No. It is called The Making of Another Major Motion Picture Masterpiece. So it's a really big...
It's a big title, isn't it?
It's a really big title. It's inspired by his own career, and he has released it because of the never-ending pressure of making movies.
It's fiction?
Yeah, it is fiction.
But it's based on him.
I mean, Tom Hanks is a bit like Judy Nunn, who played Elsa on Home and Away.
Yes, very similar.
I guess so.
I can see the link.
All I'm saying is...
Does he have a charger as well?
No, that's Irene.
Oh, Irene, sorry.
Irene had the yellow charger.
When I think of Tom Hanks, I think of Judy Nunn.
All I'm saying is...
Does he have a mullet? Does he have a curly mullet? Oh, sorry.
That is my friend you're talking about. She is incredible. She's a great woman. And the reason I thought of Judy when I read the Tom Hanks story is because he said that basically he had to put a spark back in his career of just making blockbuster movies. He's won 2 Academy Awards.
Amazing.
But he still wants more. So he started writing this novel, on planes, in between takes on set. And it made me think of when I used to watch Judy Nunn write her best-selling novels in the diner.
Does she have best-selling novels?
Yeah.
She has like a myriad. She's I'm not going to say
author.
Yes, and they're all kind of history based.
Okay.
So her husband does a lot of the research of the historical events. They work together, and she writes these amazing novels.
So like The Kelly Gang by Judy Nunn.
Like Kalgoorlie.
Oh wow!
About called Cal. That was that one book.
So she was writing that stuff in between takes on Home and Away. She would write.
Yes, and she used to write the first few books she wrote. She actually said I wasn't allowed to read them because they were all about the saucy things that happened behind the scenes in television.
So they would.
So she'd be writing in the pantry in the diner.
Yeah.
And then
Mr.
they'd say,
come in today and he made another pass and another female.
First, first positions. She'd come out to the counter.
Yeah.
Action.
Favourite position.
So then they would say cut. They would say cut. And as the horseman arrived in Kalgoorlie, the barmaid took off her top. She jumped on the bar.
No. You don't have to.
That's what you said. She was writing.
It's always
Mate,
his
you
go-to,
said you were
isn't it?
writing. She was writing erotic novels.
Yeah,
No, I did not say
sorry for joining
sorry
for chipping in on the topic you brought up.
Stuck in my throat.
A rotting novel, she said. It was rotting.
It was a rotten novel. Anyway, Tom Hinks. Oh my God! It's this. I'm doing this. I'm trying to sabotage the segment.
Oh, there it is. There it is. We got there.
So I don't have to.
Why do you always have to take it there, mate?
The entertainment.
You're the only one that said it.
Stories. Tom Hanks wrote a novel. Moving on to Robert De Niro.
You talking to me?
Yep.
Yes.
You talking to me?
Greatest actor of all time.
Oh, that's a big call.
He's unbelievable. What has he done now, Kate?
He was doing an interview and they said, how does it feel to be the father of 6 children? He must keep things on the lowdown because he said, well, actually, I've just had another baby and I am the father of 7 children.
How old is he?
He's 79 years old. There's a lot of secrecy around who the mother might even be. Rumoured to be Tiffany Chen, who was a martial arts instructor. They met on the set of The Intern back in 2015. They've been spotted in the south of France having holidays. I can't, for the life of me, find out how old she is, but it doesn't matter. Age is
how many different women? How many mothers in those 7 children do you know?
No, I don't know.
There's 3.
Thank you, MDG.
Thank you, sliding in there.
Robert De Niro. I thought,
what a hero.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known because he's in the restaurant game as well in New York, isn't he?
Is that Tribeca? Oh,
Nobu.
Nobu. Does he? Yeah, he owns Nobu.
Part owner, yeah.
Part
but
owner.
Why does he have to go to that point? I mean, if she's 44, he's 79. Why do you have to do the kid thing? Like, I feel like it's planned.
Yeah, but maybe he doesn't need to do the kid thing, but he's found a woman that he loves, and she's keen to have a baby with a man that she loves, and it all is just a match made in heaven.
It's the
guys.
gangster lifestyle, mate. You know,
can't hold it back.
Once a gangster,
Always a gangster. We've said that forever.
Are we going? Are we
We're
done?
going home.
Ever since I was young, I wanted to be a gangster.
That music, you've trained me like a puppy dog.
It's done,
oh,
mate.
that's my cue.
That's the end of the show. Off you go.
Thanks for listening.
Hey, been a great show. I've had such a great show. I've had so much fun today. You guys had fun? Unpredictable fun.
Yeah, for a Wednesday.
For getting on the show today, Kate, you're in the running for 10K a day in May. That continues all day.
And I didn't even tell a good story.
I know.
You might be back on the drive show this afternoon.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.